So Brandon Cerpa asked a great question. This is an agency owner I recently met who runs a really great ad and media agency for HVAC owners. Brandon, you really know your stuff. So I'm thrilled that you're thinking about using BrandWell. So you asked, how can I help my clients, specifically roofers, rank higher using AI? What's the cost of the tool? And you're just going to have your client pay for the subscription. So first of all, um, I would recommend you keep all those costs in house and then you're charging your client fees on top of it. If you have your client just pay for the subscription, you are probably not going to see the full ROI of what you could make in your agency if you sold a layer of services on top. So what do I mean by that? So whenever you look at the price of the subscription here, which is $249 a month, you can layer services on top of it and then charge more for those services. Because AI is always a tool, as it should be. And what Brandwell is, it's an all-in-one, almost like a marketing staff of people like SEOs, writers, that you need to build domain authority. Well, you needed all those people in the past. You don't anymore. You just need Brandwell. So I would recommend you pay for the subscription, which is $249 a month. That gets you two websites, which is essentially two clients. I'll show you what that means in a second. 25 posts, and then unlimited access to all of the content you can generate in the AI agents, as well as unlimited keyword research, different types of topic and content analysis, as well as GSC integration for each site. And then if your clients' websites are on WordPress, you can directly publish to their sites as well. All right, so let me show you what I mean by layering services on top. So you're going to buy this subscription. You're going to charge your client, I would say at least double, to offer ongoing website services. And double is like really cheap. You should start at that price if you want to be like, okay, look, we're just going to test. Make it $4.99 a month and say we're going to publish. I would do at least 16 posts a month. That's what Joe Gibson is doing. That's a HubSpot researched benchmark where you need at least 16 posts a month. I believe I'm terrible at math, so let me actually do the math. Okay, that's four a week. So almost, yeah, 4 weeks, almost one every business day. But you need quantity and quality of content in order to build actual rankings. So the strategy here, which is human, is something that's not included, right? So that's something you're doing. So let me show you what I mean. So we're inside the Brandwell platform. We've got two different types of technologies in here. We've got AI agents. The dashboard is changing pretty soon. It's going to be a lot easier to see all this on the left. Like you're literally going to see Rankwell and then agents and then AI detector. And it's really cool because we have agencies that have built their entire services based off the services that we have inside this platform. So let's say you have your roofing client. You're going to set up their website like so, click add a new website. You're going to add their website in, include them in the brand publisher network that turns on our link co-op, which is pretty awesome. Our link co-op is a way to build natural backlinks to your site where we crawl your entire site, we knowledge graph it, and we also audit every single page for keywords, and we compare those keywords against the top ranking content. So that means we already know all the keywords of all of their pages, their site pages, and then we evaluate that entire ecosystem graph to find the most relevant pages to link to. And that's all our founder. That's what he's really great at. I'm not the technical genius. All right, so you're going to add the website. Once you've added it, you're going to set up consistent content going out. Now, that is still something you want humanly driven. So let me show you what I mean. So inside the Brandwell project, which is the website, you can see we've connected our Google Search Console. It's reading the traffic. You can get to that in the settings, integrations. You can connect Google Search Console. It's very easy, one click. And you can see all of our content here at a glance that we've produced. So to start writing content, you click Write New Post if you know the keywords to write for. If you don't know the keywords to write for, then you're going to use our keyword research tool, which is baked into the platform. And it's as simple as this. You're going to type in a seed keyword like right there. Let me go back to the project screen. Almost there. Okay, so under write new post, you're going to click keyword research. And then you're going to type in the seed keyword, which is related to the topical authority you want that website to rank for. So let's say it's Scottsdale roofing services. I don't know, probably more targeted than that. You're going to type that in. Now, the main thing is you want to keep this keyword as broad as possible to get ideas, like Scottsdale roofing, um, Arizona, if they service more than just Scottsdale. So think the broadest area you can find. If you wanted to, you could also generate a topic report where you can look at what's ranking in the top of Google for that keyword, and you can see at a glance the trend for that keyword, and then you can go straight from there to generating an article. So that's a really great way to deliver value for your client, because you can also download that analysis. And this is where I'm saying you want to stack on more than that 249 month price. So we have clients like Joe Gibby, Top Click Joe, lots of other agencies that are stacking on top of the software these services. So here's your topic report. We've analyzed what's at the top of Google for this keyword. And then from there, we're going to create the content. You don't have to worry about anything. The purpose of this is to give your clients insights, but also actually do the work, right? Like, look, this is what's happening for this keyword. This is the kind of traffic, the kind of content out there that's ranking. This is your competitor down here. Okay, well, you don't have to worry about it. We're going to create content for that keyword. So when you give them insights, it gives them a lot of confidence that you know what you're doing. And then data always speaks, right? So you're selling those insights and that human content strategy research. So if I type in a C keyword for BrandWell, AI content marketing is one of the main ones we want to be known for. You can see I've got all these keywords that come up. So from here, we want to click create content or create topic cluster. A topic cluster is something you want to be known for. Creating content is one keyword that you want to rank for. So here's the difference. Here's one keyword I want to rank for. I don't want to be known for that. I don't want to be known for generative AI advertising, but this keyword is below 40, which is a magic number. Anything below 40 is fairly easy to rank for. This is your ranking difficulty score. So anything below 40 is awesome. So that keyword I would go after, and it's related to what we do. That's also really important. Less is more. If you have keywords hyper related to what you do, that'd be awesome. You could think about educational articles like how to repair a roof in Scottsdale, how to repair my Arizona hail damage. You could look up keywords like that. So you want to think about top of funnel, because right here you want to bring in people searching for something related to the problem. So this one's a topic cluster because we want to be known for that. We are delivering AI services for content creation to make your content marketing, your content creation easy. This would be another topic cluster. But this, again, is an article. So if we go straight from here to create content, it's going to actually write the article. We don't have to add any more insights. It's going to throw that straight into the queue. And then we can literally take this article when it's ready and publish it with very minor changes. Like what I would recommend, Brandon, is you or someone in your team just eyeball the content and make sure it's ready to go. Meaning, like, is there anything specific that client wants you to mention? Is there any specific CTAs? Add that in. So we add in screenshots and we add in case studies that are personal to us. AI is not necessarily going to know that. We add screenshots of also like personal authority builders. We're even adding in, I see, I have a writer doing all this, so I'm not adding it. We're embedding a LinkedIn video. That's pretty cool. Then we're ending in a CTA. So you can even automate this at the project level. You can automate a tone of voice for the client. So if I click inside the website I've added and I go to settings, I can do AI training, which is a custom tone of voice just for this website. So if the client really prefers like a drier or a humorous or a educational tone, you can train it on that. And then I've got automations I can set up where I can tell it not to mention certain things. Like if you don't want it to mention something about a roof or a specific style or something like that, you can set that and it's going to be set to that website only, which is really cool. So it will only apply to this client and this website. I could even set up calls to actions that are automated inside every blog, just making it easier. You stack all these things, your work before you publish is so little. And that's the goal, right? It's just almost automatic, high quality publishing. So whenever you generate content and it comes out of, we call it straight out of AI, this is what it looks like. You're getting an in-depth original article. You can check all that from here. You can run a plagiarism scan. All that's built right in. You can detect it to see if it reads like a human wrote it. And it'll highlight anything that comes up that isn't readable, needs to be improved. And that usually takes 10 to 15 minutes of work. So, in the long run, as you grow your client site, like I would really recommend 16 articles per website per month, because you need that at a minimum. Um, and if it's hard to find keywords, like for location based clients, it's harder than, a global content marketing agency. So if it's more local, then yeah, less is more. And you want to think about like pillar pages for that location. If you run an optimization audit, your writer can actually follow this. Oh, excuse me. I was outside picking flowers with my 2-year-old today. I think I'm super allergic to those flowers. He was like sticking them in my nose. Smell this, mommy. Oh, goodness. So if you run this audit, it'll tell your writer what to do to, like, look at this, add sections on retainer agreements to cover client retention. That will help us get this to the top of Google. So that optimization audit, which you can run right here in app, you just scroll down, you click optimization audit. It's a really handy way to know what else you have to do humanly to take this to the next level. Because the goal is, a content piece that ranks in the top of Google, builds site domain authority, traffic, etc. And that's what our subscription does. So that's what I would recommend. If you think of the pipeline, right, you're adding a website, you're adding it to our brand publisher network, which is where we actually audit the entire site. We knowledge graph it. We are understanding what that site looks like against the top ranking content. And then we're evaluating the knowledge graph of that entire ecosystem for that website to find the relevant pages to link to. So that's a lot of value whenever you add the website to that. And then from there, once you literally, and that's just a button, you don't have to do anything. You're just clicking add a new website, turning on the brand publisher network, letting that audit run. And then you'll see at a glance what to rewrite as well. And that's another way to use those credits and to direct the strategy. So if you pay for the subscription, you charge your client a nominal fee on top of it. You got to charge them something, because if you're running this, that's work and that's strategy and that is thought. That can be super high ROI. Like, for example, Top Click Joe, he provides marketing services to service-based consumer companies as well. So like blue collar, trade, skill-based work. And one contractor, which does government contracts for massive corporate buildings, secured $1 million contract off of a BrandWell written article that was ranking at the top of Google for something like water, sewage, repair. It was his corporate keyword, ranking in the top of Google, and it was a long form pillar piece of content. So, I mean, for him to get his client $1 million contract because that piece was ranking at the top, that's blue collar work, by the way. So you can do this at a location based level. That's pretty freaking cool. All right, I hope that helps you, Brandon. This is a great question. I thought it was a great thought process for me to help you answer, or just to answer for you and kind of guide you through. We did in my content agency before I joined BrandWell, we did thousands, tens of thousands actually, of these projects. But it's really cool. I think the value I see is that you can actually deliver faster, better work because you don't have to hire a writer to produce all this. Back in the day, I had to go find a writer and I had to go tell the client, hold on, that'll be at least 2 weeks for me to find your writer. You literally could click a button, and for any industry, you get content this good. What? And then, you just need a good VA really to come in here and follow the checklist that knows how to research and use Google and add these things into the content and follow checklists. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks for sending that through. That was a great question.